Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. Welcome to the cabins, both of them. It's trash day over here, y'all. Boy, reselling generates a lot of trash, for sure. So we're gonna talk a little bit about something I predicted quite a long time ago. Talk about the Goodwill, and I tell you what, I think it's gonna change things. And it's like a spring day out here. It's nice. And we've got some awesome sales. I can't wait to show you. Got the construction crew here still working on that basement from that flooding. They are almost done. I cannot wait. And I left a vase out here. Well, I keep it out here because it's glass. I'm gonna pick it up really quick, and it sold. And I was shocked. My dad picked this up. And then we're gonna get into the Goodwill topic. All right, y'all, I think I can get, nope, I'm too short. I'm gonna have to go for ladder. All right, I'm climbing up the ladder here. Whoop, I just knocked my head on the light. This shocked me, I gotta be honest. So this one my dad picked up, and I did not think it would be very good. And then we looked up comps, and I left it sitting there forever because I did not think it was gonna be a good one. And it sold for $71 and change plus shipping. It is super heavy and kind of cool looking, but it still kind of shocked me. All right, we're gonna get into this Goodwill thing. This is, like I said, this is something I predicted, I talked about a long time ago. I'm surprised that it hasn't happened more than it already has. I think I don't know, I have to go back and watch the video. But I said, you know, it won't be long with these live selling sites that Goodwill will tap into them. Yes, Goodwill already has. And I remember doing this video and like, Goodwill's already doing this. They already have Shop Goodwill and whatever. I'm like, no, I think this is very different. I'm talking about Goodwills, and each Goodwill is different across the country, of course, different localities. At some point, somebody's going to be like, why are we selling this stuff to the middleman, and then they're selling it over there on Whatnot or wherever they're selling it, even eBay, like most of us have done for years with thrift stores. Why don't we do it ourselves? And that's what started to happen. There were stories last year of certain folks who had been reached out to by Goodwills, different Goodwills around the country, just to, like, I don't know if contracting with them is the right term or not, but hey, instead of, say, the Goodwill training an employee or employees to sell live on a platform like Whatnot, they would already look to well-established people who are already selling on there, have the personality for it, and do some kind of an arrangement. But now I saw on, it was on Facebook post the other day, K-Way, what is it, K-Way Shop or something? And I had got messages from different people as well. This is a gem box. It's got, we put wrap around it because the clothes are in it, and just has a little bit of damage there. And that box with the clothing, believe it or not, so the gem doll that goes in there probably doesn't go for near this much. $41 and change. Let me get the right number. People get mad at me when I don't. $40.46 for that box plus shipping. And I don't do this video to be critical of Goodwill or anything like that. There's plenty of things to criticize about Goodwill. This is really more about, you know, looking out into the future a little bit and thinking, you know what, things are changing a little bit. And for those typical thrift store folks, you know, I don't go to Goodwill a ton. It's just not my gig as much as it used to be, just because the prices have got to the point where I'd rather spend my time finding better price stuff to be able to have better margins. But on Whatnot, it was Goodwill in, I don't know, it was like W, Ohio or something like that. You can go into the search and look at Goodwill, and they are actually selling on Whatnot. They took quite a bit of criticism, quite a bit in this particular, in the actual stream itself. So there were some screenshots, and it does crack me up a little bit, you know, and there's a lot of things to criticize about Goodwill, but I think more importantly is, what does this mean if other places are doing this? And let me tell you, some Goodwills are already doing this. They have already started working with other people, and they have changed their model over the years. Of course, the bins, they're doing kind of what I want to do, right? They're bins, different places that are just getting rid of mass quantity, and they can have enough to focus on what their top dollar kind of stuff is, doing it different ways, putting this in the store, doing this. And that's kind of what I'm doing by diversifying my business. So Goodwill has every right to do what they want to with their business, and to take the money and do their charity things or whatever they're doing, or whoever they're paying. It doesn't really matter. But the point here is that there are a lot of mom and pop thrift shops as well out there who are collecting donations, and I want to talk about the collecting donations part. and tell you maybe a few things you're not aware of. Because a lot of these shops, whether they're, you know, private or one of these bigger organizations, they need to get rid of stuff in volume without paying massive amounts of labor. And so they're going live on these sites. They're doing different methods. Here's Lucifer. Check that out. That thing's pretty cool. From Villains, if y'all remember that one. That is really cool. I like it. And that one sold for not too much. I bought this with credit on Dibdit. Sold for $11.95 plus shipping. Some of you may wonder, you look at these live shows and somebody's like, how do these people get so much quantity of this stuff? Well, there's different methods. And one of them is actually pretty simple. I think most people would be shocked that a lot of these bins you see out, these big giant metal containers, are people collecting from the public. And they're not, if you look at them and read them, some of them might be, you know, organizations you've heard of before. I know the school I used to work for used to have a couple of these bins, and they would have a big sale every year, and they'd raise money for a particular organization at the school. And a lot of these bins have pretty innocuous titles and whatever, you know, saving the earth or whatever it is. And really, they're just collecting all that stuff and recycling it, meaning they're selling it and they're getting money in their pocket. And a lot of those things wind up finding their way to these live shows. Most, well, I don't know if I'd say most of it, but most of the good stuff does for sure. You know, and I'm not talking about, if you know who Chris Flip the World is, we talk about him often on the Trash Cast podcast. He goes into the Goodwill bins with his wife, Stacy, and they're finding stuff, selling it live on whatnot at the same time, but they're paying a low dollar because it's bin prices by weight. But he's not associated with them. It's pretty genius what he's doing. But I'm just thinking to myself at some point, you know, is that hopefully that goes on forever for them because they just crush it. But, you know, having a plug of some sort is kind of the gig, the trick in this gig, right? I love yard sales, so I'm not going to stop that until it goes bone dry, if it ever does. These are two little cast iron skillets. They're nothing. I think they're Lodge. I think that's right. They are. They're Lodge. And I usually wouldn't pick this stuff up, but I got 2 for $5 at a sale, and it was just from the sweetest lady. I had bought something. There's like 5 sales set up at kind of a depressing flea market when my boy was playing a game. I dropped him off, and I knew that flea market was over there. I'm like, well, this will take 5 minutes. And I bought one thing from every person there. There was nobody there. It was a dreary day, and I'm like, I got to find something to buy here. And so $5 into 20 is not great, but I made that lady's day, and I'm happy I did. You know, there is so much stuff being donated out there, and I think that the only way that this kind of activity would really be a detriment, in my opinion, to the Goodwill is if it's bad publicity. And boy, when I saw that on there, they're out there sawing again, y'all. I saw that on there, I was like, man, I don't know if this is going to go over well with a lot of folks. Most people don't care, right? Because if they can get stuff cheap off of whoever it is, whether it's Goodwill selling on whatnot or whatever, they're going to do it because it helps their own pocketbook, and I can't be critical of that. But there's a lot of people that have really looked at what Goodwill's done over the last few years and the prices when they go into a store, and you know, you're selling Walmart stuff for double what Walmart's selling it for and whatever. And so there's a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth, and so they're finding other places that they like the charity more to donate to. I'm actually thinking at this point, I pulled this one out earlier and set it on top because I know it was at the bottom. It's been around for a while. Joe Gibbs Racing, this is from a sale 2 years ago, almost. And we bought a whole tub full of stuff for like $20. And boy, we made a ton of money. This one sold for $27.30 plus shipping. So I'm of the belief, and I could be wrong, and y'all can comment below and you can tell me what you think of this story. I'm of the belief that if Goodwill didn't have to have stores open, they probably wouldn't, and it's different in different locations. In other words, the biggest draw for Goodwill is being a donation center and a drop-off. And the popular opinion outside the reseller community is that Goodwill, they don't even understand what their charity is. I'm not going to go into that. I've done it before. They just think it's a convenient way to get rid of things. That ought to inform some of us resellers. There are people, they just simply don't care. They feel enough that they can't throw something in the trash that's worth money. But it's a convenient thing. Dropping something off and getting it out of their life is huge. And a lot of people, even resellers, have tapped into this. I see people driving around with cars and stuff, you know, hey, I'll take your old stuff, or they'll hand out cards at garage sale. Don't donate this stuff to the Goodwill when you're done. Give it to me. Do whatever. And that's the truth. There are a lot of folks out there who just simply want the convenience of getting rid of the clutter in their life. They don't even want a dime for it. Then there's the next level up who know there's some value in there. They want to extract the value at a garage sale and then donate it. And then you have the estate sales where they're selling off an estate and there's no way they're donating at all, unless it's to a particular charity that they trust or something. And that's kind of where we step in and try to arbitrage it, take it out of this marketplace at this low price and put it in this marketplace to find the right buyer. All right, Turner's got some Commonwealth comedy. What's your joke, bud?
What did the horse say when he tripped?
What did the horse say when he tripped? I don't know.
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Thank you.
Bye.
So let me know, do you think this, from this particular Goodwill, if this is a good move by them? Is it a bad public relations move? How do you think it'll be received? Do you think it changes their image of the people who donate if they go on and watch these shows? I'm not quite sure. But to me, it does seem like it might not be the best move as far as publicity goes. Just my opinion. I sold a jacket, little Norfolk Southern. I brought them all in here because they are working in there. And I didn't want to keep going in and out. So I just pulled them out here. It's sold Norfolk Southern Swingster made in the USA, y'all. This one is pretty darn good. It's embroidered, good condition, and it sold for a good dollar amount as well. $44.96 plus shipping. I forgot this one on the last video, so I put a little higher on my list. It was Gary from the Postcard Shack, our buddy Gary. We appreciate you, my friend. He bought this over on Dibdit, a little Inaman Christmas ornament. And we sell these for around $10 plus shipping over there. So thank you to Gary. We always appreciate you. You know, it's when you're doing stuff for charity, I think it's really important, and we all know this. We've actually made changes to the way we do some of the things. A lot of times we'll do this stuff and do 50-50 charities. We'll do whatever. It's why whenever we do that on eBay now, we try to, depending on what the charity is, unless it's something that's not listed over there, have the money go directly. They can see it on the listing right to them. Because if not, inevitably I'll get people complaining to me and saying, hey, you know, prove to me you did this or whatever. I'm like, okay, and I try to do that. It becomes overwhelming. But we do, there goes the saw again. We do quite a bit of stuff, you know, $1 here for every sale out of CommonwealthPicker.com, and I try to have that. I have a bookkeeper, thank goodness, that has those line item things in case anybody ever calls me out. But Goodwill is a charity, right? It's a nonprofit, and I think that I don't know, if you're seeing stuff that's being donated, it's like the same thing. You walk into a Goodwill, and it's like, man, they're trying to get $600 for this fake Gucci purse or whatever, and it looks bad. So they got to be careful with public relations. We did that story not too long ago, this local Goodwill here, that a lady made a donation, went into the store, came out of the store. Her very same donations were literally being thrown into the trash compactor. And it was a huge story, and it got spread all over Facebook nationwide, and it didn't look good. Do you think these places, these individual Goodwills and other thrift stores are going to start migrating over to these live selling platforms? Or they could create their own. You know, we're on the district platform. We have Dibdit and all the other marketplaces over there. Could they piggyback on somebody else's? Because, you know, if you're building your own, you have to drive traffic to your own. It's not easy. So I'm just interested in it, and I do see slowly the shifting. I talked about this with estate sale companies. There are estate sale companies now that are now purely online. They don't actually have an estate sale. They go there, they organize it, and they sell it all off, whether it's an online auction site or live selling now. Now, of course, when you do that, you have to have labor costs. You have to have a shipping department. You have to deal with all that other stuff, but you have a much bigger audience. I'm just going to leave this, and I'll just show it to you right here. It's a serger. I bought 2 of these, and one was in poor condition. The other was, I think this is the poorer of the 2 conditions. You see a little rust on it. But some of these old sergers go for crazy good money. But this one had some issues, and I bought both of them, I think, for $40. Sold the other one much higher. This one sold for $60 plus shipping. So it's a pain in the butt. You don't want to break it when you ship it, but definitely worth the time and money we put into these. And some of you might say, well, you know, Kevin, Goodwill's been selling on eBay for a long time. What's the big deal here? What's the difference? I'll tell you what. There's a certain level of research to go into pulling things, mass quantities of stuff, and pulling out the things you want to invest labor and time into and space if you're Goodwill. And to me, almost all of that is eliminated because you don't even have to you just run. It doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. It goes to the bins, it does whatever. And I think that this would be much more appealing to a lot of these Goodwills. And to me, that's a bad sign for folks that thrift out there, and maybe certainly those that thrift at retail Goodwill stores as opposed to the bins. You know, all of that just to say that it's becoming more and more important to find the stuff before it goes to the thrift store. And whether that's at a yard sale or some other way. You know, estate cleanouts, house cleanouts, basement cleanouts, you know, storage units, all those other things. Obviously, I love a garage sale. There's nothing, I just love it. I'll go to garage sales until there are none. That hat sold for $17.95 plus shipping. Then I got a message later through the messaging system, which I don't normally read these because I get so many in the messaging system, but I just happened to find this one. It was very kind, and I thought I would read it here. Steve says, "Hi, my name is Steve. I've been watching your videos over the last few years and enjoy them very much. Absolutely love the Commonwealth cabin. It's an extremely impressive operation you have there." Well, thank you. That is very kind. I really learned a lot. I don't know if you wanted me to read this or not. It's kind of long, but I'm reading it now. Really learn a lot from your videos and get inspired to go to sales and find good deals. You have a great family and love seeing how you teach your kids to be responsible, generous, and kind. Well, that is a very high compliment. I appreciate that. They are good kids. Lucky to have them. You know, that's going to get me on a side note. I was a teacher for a long time, and I used to think that the kids reflected completely on the parents, and I'd have less respect for a parent if their kid wasn't all that. And the more I taught, years, I was 21 years in the classroom, one kid would come through, and then the brother and the sister, whatever, they're all so completely different. And so I learned not to necessarily judge the parents by the kids all the time. I mean, that's a part of it, of course. All right, let me get back to this really quick. Wish there were more parents like you in the world. Thank you for the great content, and just can't pass up cool sports caps. So this will be my first purchase, and hopefully of many. Well, thank you. I appreciate you very, very much, and there's more, but I just want to say thank you for buying that hat. I remember this hat because I was so disappointed with the sale. Parking lot sale at a church, and I was there before it started as people were putting stuff out, and I'm always kind when I do that. I don't intrude or whatever. And there was tons of people there before it started, and it was huge. I was like, man, this can be a great sale. It was anything but. But I do remember finding a box of hats, and they were $1 a piece, and I bought a few Pirates ones, and I think this is the last one I think we might have one more. And so $1 into $17.95 plus shipping. So give me your final word. You can be critical if you want. You could be critical of me, critical of Goodwill, whatever you want. Just tell me what your thoughts are on some of the things I've said. It's a cool little pickup right here. And I knew when I bought it, well, you're not looking at the screenshot, but it's blue on the outside. This is a reversible. So Pro Player, the black is the inside, but it's really the outside as well. Whenever you see that, by the way, and this may not be on this side, it may have to be on the other side. I think it is. Let me show you. All right, I've got it unbuttoned here. This is the front of the inside, or the outside of the, well, I'm confusing myself. But you normally find the tags in here. If you ever pick up a jacket and there's no tag, don't be like, oh, there's no tag, that stinks. It's harder to sell them without a tag. The reversible ones are usually on the inside. I would suspect it's right here if I can find it. Now I can't find it, but I know it's going to be in here. There it is right there. Pro Player, size small, made in Korea. And that one sold for $64.95 plus shipping. Speaking of disappointing yard sales, I was down in Florida and pulled up to a sale, and they had tons of good stuff. I'm like, sweet. And the prices were like, whew, they made Goodwill look cheap. And I was still determined. A lot of times people say they'll leave a yard sale like that. They literally were looking stuff up and giving you the price of the unsold comps. I don't need to unfold this whole thing. But I was like, you know what? I hang around these sales because sometimes they find something that they don't even think of to look up or do whatever. And I asked her, I was like, how much do you want for this? And I think she said 20 bucks. I think I said I gave her 15. I can't remember. This one's going to air soon, so you'll see that. It's a Highlander mat. It was in excellent condition, and it folds down, so I should just be able to take 2 pieces of cardboard and lay it flat and ship this thing off for a decent price. And it sold on discount. I think we sent an offer out for like $65. Probably could have put 100 on it, waited for the right person, and got a sale. But it's big, and I wanted it gone. So 15 or 20 into 65, a little bit of trouble, barely worth it. But I found a winner at a sale where there wasn't many. As you know, my clothes are inside, and I said I pulled them out earlier, but man, we're thinking about completely redoing this in here because of the work we're doing in the eBay cave. I'm thinking about making a specific place inside because I'm going to have a little bit more space. I'm going to have another rack for clothes inside, get this completely out of here, put it in another shelf, and bring in larger items in here that are in boxes. It's kind of like this. Not that a lot of you care, but that kind of stuff. So nice to have stuff visible like that as opposed to in totes. But some things work better in totes because they're flopping all over the place. You can't stack them. And so to have another place where I can stack stuff here and bring all the clothes inside and have little cubbies for each thing. Jeans, pants, t-shirts that aren't hung up t-shirts. We do, like, this is a double, so we don't hang them up. That's a double, so we don't hang them up when we're selling them in lots, and make it easier to find stuff. So this is clothing, this is clothing, this is clothing, and this is clothing. Move all this out of here and put another rack in here. I think that's the strategy. You may see it in the coming months. We will see. Almost forgot I had to grab this shirt right here. Here you go. Has a nice ring to it. The Dallas Cowboys. Some of us forget that the Dallas Cowboys once were a dominant football team. It's been a while. A little fuzzball on that one. This one didn't sell for much. Whoop, I broke a hanger. 2XL out there. This one sold for $14.95. Nope, $15.15 plus shipping. These used to be staples for me, these manuals, but I have got away from them in recent years. They're harder and harder. You know, everything's online, right? But sometimes people just like to have it. 1958 Chevy truck shop manual. Picked it up for $1. Sold for $17.46 plus shipping. Our sales really have picked up of late. We had a couple really low weeks and we really got after it listed on eBay and it's starting to pay off. And finding, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Where did I put that? I looked at the, I hear somebody Reagan's supposed to come down here for a video in a minute. She's gotta go to practice. I was looking for the white one. That one wasn't new. So I got too many extra cardboard pieces around here. I use them for shipping. It's nice to have stuff around. You can Frankenbox stuff. It's a little Apple mouse. Nothing special used, but working. $17 plus shipping. I can't believe this is true, but it says, oh, we did some other restructuring. All the pins finally fit in these drawers, which is cool. And these are getting low, y'all. Look at this. That's all we got left. If you remember the hundreds and hundreds of, that's all we have left. The Firebird and the Z28, we used to have a bunch. There's 14 left of these is all. And they're on discount, so that's why they're going out of here pretty quick these days. $10.46. And a Scooby keychain. Let me look at this one, give you the price as I go pick it up. I should know this. We sell so many. 2 of these actually sold. $7.66 a piece for these. Not big money makers, but there it is. Scooby, I think 2 of them sold. We're down to this. Man, we had so many of these, y'all. So you make a little bit of money on the same listing over and over. I absolutely love those. And I think one of them was to a viewer. And yes, one of them was to a viewer, one of them wasn't. This one went to Brandy. Says, I've been watching your YouTube channel for months now since I got into reselling. Thank you for all the great information. I absolutely love watching your videos at the start of each day. Well, thank you very, very much. Looks like you may have used code Commonwealth and got 5% off. So or either that or I sent you an offer. I think that's right. But for any viewer out there, I always have that. I don't advertise it anywhere else but this channel. If you're on eBay and you want to buy something from us, at least you can put in code Commonwealth and get 5% off, even if I haven't sent you an offer. So just a small thank you for everything you do for us. So 2 for sure viewer sales out of 18, but I'm thinking this one might be as well. Even though there's no message. Linda, I'm going to thank you anyways. But, well, maybe this isn't. It's just kind of an odd one because there's 2 orders going out. Total $59.95 plus shipping for these 2 items. And now I just have to find them. Sometimes these are, they should both be in here. But I'm not sure they are. Matter of fact, one of them just got listed, so it may not be in here at all. So it may take me a second, and then I'll show it. No, wait, nope, that's not it. All right, this one was so obvious, I forgot that it was in a case. This is a DVD player, kind of a travel one. And a lot of times these are worthless. But sometimes, you know, if I look at a yard sale, zip this thing open and everything is there. This thing's got headphones, all the cords, everything looks perfect. You bring it home, you test it, and you know, if it's, you know, $3, $4, $5 even, it'll usually go for around $30 if it has everything with it. And it's in great shape, and you can guarantee it's tested and working, especially when it has the original headphones and stuff. So I pick them up every once in a while, $30 plus shipping. And then this one went to Linda as well. Like I said, this is why I think it may be a viewer sale, because hey, there's Reagan. Cool. This one here, it's got a stethoscope. I'd normally put that in there too, but I don't want it to get damaged. Some of the stuff's heavy that I put in there. So I'm thinking that's an odd buy. Might be, you know, a combo of those two things. Might be a, you know, how often does somebody look for something that the same seller has like that? So I'm going to thank Linda, because I think it's a viewer sale. $24.95 for this one, $29.95 for this one, plus shipping. All right, y'all, Reagan does change her clothes. We filmed 2 in one day. So one was on the last video, one was on this video with her pigtails and her red. We lost, can you tell them what happened? We were so sad around here.
We went on a ski trip, and then we came home, and we couldn't find No Name.
Anywhere.
Nope. But then at like 1 in the morning, Turner came in my room, and he was like, No Name, he's here, he's in my bed.
No Name came into the house at 1 o'clock and jumped up in Turner's bed after we hadn't seen him for
And we
days.
searched, too.
So anyway, all right, who bought something from you?
Robert got a gray CWP shirt.
Gray CWP shirt. One right there, I think. So anyway, thank you to Robert.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Whenever I see these kinds of items at yard sales and you know, everything's $1 on table or something, I think this is it right here. I usually pick them up because A, they look super easy to ship. They're already in a case. They're easy to store. This says Navigator's Plotting Instrument, and I'll let you look at it here. And it's almost, I don't even know anything about this stuff half the time, and I'll get it home, and it almost always sells for at least $15, sometimes more if you find something really cool. This one sold for $17.95, I think, plus shipping, so I probably paid $1 for it. I don't really remember this one, but I usually just grab them and look them up when I get home. So $1 or $2, maybe $3, but I highly doubt it, into $17.95 plus shipping. All right, y'all, so tell me what you think about Goodwill and different individual Goodwills, maybe doing live selling on some of these bigger platforms. Let me know all that in the comments. I don't think I have any giveaways to give away today, although I think my Reseller Genie has allowed me to give away 1 free month, and I just haven't done the math on it and try to figure out when I'm going to do it and whatever, and what the requirements are or whatever. So I'm going to do that here pretty quick. But in the meantime, y'all can check it out, myresellergenie.com, code Commonwealth, for those of you who are in tax season trying to, you know, it'll go back and pull all that stuff out for you. But I just want to say thank you for everything, all the folks that have gone over to Dibdit and all its subsidiaries and bought from us on eBay, and you guys are just very kind to us. We appreciate you very much. Let me know what you think of the future of sourcing. Do you think you see any big changes in the sourcing world over the next few years? I certainly do see some changes. Nothing ever happens quickly. You know, the only thing that is consistent is change. And I think we all have to adapt a little bit here and there. But I cannot wait. It is a warm day out there. Spring is coming. Garage sales are coming. I can feel it. And I cannot wait to wake up at 5 o'clock and go to them. Hopefully you feel the same way too. Thank you for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.